Good morning and welcome to Saturday special of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. This coronavirus has created a new normal, and we have often talked of the negative effects of the restrictions placed, how lockdowns have destroyed the economy, increased domestic violence, increased marital conflicts resulting in more divorces, children not being educated properly, open air being restricted. And then people have been talking about the masks so much so that even the WHO said that the masks do not have any validity. Working from home, how it is creating problems. But by and large, while there have been protests against the masks, while people have been talking about working from home, the social distancing, the concept itself, has not been criticized. As a matter of fact, most of the people have accepted the concept of social distancing without a murmur. But is it really good? Is a new normal really fit for Homo sapiens? Most of us think that it's okay to have a social distancing because the virus would not be caught. Maybe, but there is no scientific proof of that. It's all conjectures, and conjectures never are oracle. As I said the other day, the very fact that the Earth getting hit by an asteroid, the chances are 0.046%, while dying from coronavirus, the chances are 0.026%, half of that. Anyway, the thrill has now begun to wane from many companies and employees as far as the work from home is concerned. Indeed, there have been cost cutting advantages for the corporations, but social distancing and remote working has its downside too. 6 years back, the Stanford University conducted a research under the leadership of Professor Nicholas Bloom, and they came up with a study that showed that at home workers and the people who observe social distancing were happier and more productive. So that's welcome from that point of view. And that 9 month old study, continuous study, showed that the productivity of the remote workers increased by 13.5% and that their quitting job was only half of the office goers. The experience in the last 6 months has been otherwise. The efficiency has been down by at least 30%. Those who took 6 hours to complete the work are now spending up to 10 hours. So, how is the working from home better? But now the major issue is the social distancing because the rules of the government from province to province, from country to country, are so diverse that the concept of the social distancing can be misinterpreted by the people coming from the different places. In one state, it is said that not more than 10 persons can have a social get together inside their home, even. In other state, it can be 15. Anyway, the social life and the business life are suffering because of social distancing. As far as the business is concerned, as I said, when you're conducting business, you look at the body language, you look at the expressions, and that gives you an idea of their real needs. People always cannot verbalize properly, especially when they are on Zoom or Meetup or by any other means. Distance is always there, even though you look across each other on the screen. It would not matter. It was only between the colleagues. But when you interact with a client, it makes a difference. The experience has been that when we meet a client face to face, the client opens up. The socialization, the human contact, the warmth that emanates, the vibrations that are there, they make a person open up. And as I said, you can judge much more from the twitching of an eyebrow, from the frown on the face, from the hand gestures, from the way the person is slouching or sitting. But remote discussions do not give you any sense of the real feeling. There are no vibrations, and you can be misled. This makes for an information gap. And how can you really serve a client if you don't have the proper feedback? Then, inefficient training of newcomers is now lacking. You cannot train newcomers only by the means of the electronic discussions. And there's a trouble with the review, performance review, because these are much more social and interactive. You see, let's not deny that man basically is a social animal and that interactivity is extremely important. And not only that, while the chief executive might be able to do a lot more work, the others on the lower rank are grappling with a shift to the virtual working. Then the word the Canadians swear by is network. It's a big issue. Now, where's the networking gone in the era of social distancing? Now it's a plain cronyism. I mean, say, you know somebody, you refer, and you say, okay, so and so referred so and so, let's appoint that guy. It's difficult to focus fully on one. And the distractions are there at home. I know some people are dedicated, there are no distractions. But one thing is true that whether there are distractions or not, the working hours get extended from the normal 8 hours to 10 hours to 12 hours. Is that good? I don't think so. As a matter of fact, the trend was to 4 day week and 3 day week. And here we are making 7 day week and each day of 12 hours. Where shall productivity go? And not only that, the people will be burnt out. That's a major issue. And then, as more and more employees connect remotely with a dedicated servers, the time is not far off when the servers won't be able to handle the load. And that is why all major organizations are upgrading the servers and the business continuity program. But then, would they be the problem be solved? Then, the most important, I wrote today only, there are only 5 countries in the world which are really, really innovative: Singapore, Israel, South Korea, Kenya. Now, these countries are innovative because of their teamwork, because the social interaction. Chutpa, the Israeli word, is not possible in isolation. So, this social distancing is having a negative impact on creativity, on innovation, and on organizational health, as well as the health of the individuals. Why? The lack of collaboration. When there is no collaboration, you cannot discuss your ideas. Ideas are something which you discuss across a table, not across a screen. Any organization that is thriving by sustained business performance, employee management, organization health needs to focus on innovation, creativity, and organization culture. And work from home and social distancing makes these outcomes ridiculous, and the long term negative effects are going to be there. And that's not what I'm saying. This is what, for example, section Jackson Matthew, he agrees with me. Martek Group, they have studied 1,214 individuals across the countries, across the different provinces. They have studied it, and across the demographics. And the surveys have found that there is a significant decline in the mental health of the employees across all industries, senior level, demographics, job satisfaction, job motivation, and company satisfaction. They have all suffered. Then, another thing which has been a subject of trolling and Twitter, but has not been taken seriously. The stress from dealing with work as well as coping with the domestic responsibilities. Then, what they do is that the expectation of the family that you do the household work, the children, the spouse, the in laws are very high. Well, if you're working from home, why not do this as well? There are very few people who have been able to demarcate firmly between their office work and homework. And most of cases, work from home becomes homework. And that is, and in social distancing, you are cutting away the essential ingredient of being a human being. Man is a social animal. You make people stand at a distance of 2 meters and you think that there can be interaction between them. You are turning them either into robots or into different species than human beings. So, and this is especially so for women. Psychologically, and as the corporate psychologist V. Roland says, that this is going to cause a decline in mental health and increase mental diseases and mental problems. So the downside is economic, social, and mental health wise. Then, comes cultural. The festivals always ensure participation in groups. Can you tell me a single festival in the world, in any culture, in any religion, in any society, which is not a group function? Each one of them is basically social and a group function. So, how do you say and how do you think even that the way the new normal is functioning is going to be beneficial to the society, whether it's economically, whether it's culturally, whether it's socially, or whether it's from the point of view of health? The downside of social distancing is much more than the positive aspect, especially when the danger from COVID is there. I don't deny it. Look, I'm not a no sayer. The danger is there, but the danger is minimal, and most of it is exaggerated and from a fear created by either the inefficient politicians or the self serving politicians. The scientific community, whether in the institutes of excellence like Harvard and Stanford, or in research institutes, even CDC, they say very clearly that the chances of your contracting are there, definitely, yes. If you don't observe social distancing, quite possible that the people who are contracting COVID would increase. But the fatality rate is so low that even if it increases, say, a double up, now they say the chance of you getting death, they saying goodbye to the earth is 0.024%. Okay, sorry, 0.026%. Even if it doubles up, it's less than the world getting hit by an asteroid. And then looking at the balance sheet of the pluses and the minuses are much more than the pluses are, and they're going to have a long term effect. Coronavirus would be contained in a couple of months, 4 months, 6 months, or in a year. Vaccines are going to come, people are going to get cured. But the damage to the mental health, damage to the economy, damage to the social structures, cultural sector is going to be immense, and that may never be recouped. But all the authorities that be listening, I hope they are, and they'll use the same suggestions from the psychologists, economists, and bid goodbye to the so-called social distancing. Let human beings be human beings. That's the need and the call of the hour. Thank you.